The human heart is a paradox. We often remember those who set clear boundaries far longer than those who give everything without restraint. But why is that? What is it about boundaries that leaves such a lasting impression on us? True love doesn't require everything. It doesn't demand that we give every ounce of our being in an attempt to prove our affection. True love thrives on respect, not submission. And it's through setting boundaries, saying no when needed, that we protect our hearts, protect ourselves, and create lasting love. You see, many people fall into the trap of thinking that love means selflessness, that we must give and give until there's nothing left of us. But here's the thing, the women who men want to keep by their side for a lifetime, they have one thing in common. They know when to say no. These women are unforgettable, not because they gave everything, but because they knew their value and they never lost themselves in the name of love. So in today's video, we'll discover together the 9 vital wisdoms of saying no, lessons learned by women who maintain their self-respect, strength, and independence. These are lessons that will not only protect your relationships, but will also help you love yourself more deeply. Stay with me until the end of this journey. Together, we will uncover timeless wisdom that will transform how you love others and how you love yourself. By the end of this video, you'll understand that the strength to say no is the key to becoming unforgettable. Ready? Let's begin. When we fall in love, there's this natural instinct to take care of the other person. We start asking ourselves, has he eaten? Does he need anything? Is he feeling okay? But here's the catch. The stronger this impulse becomes, the greater the danger that we begin to treat him like a child. Slowly, we step into the role of caretaker, the role of a mother. Let me tell you a story. Marie, a woman in her early 60s, met a charming man. The first few moments were magical, filled with love and care. But as time passed, Marie found herself waking up early to prepare breakfast for him, buying supplements, even scheduling doctor's appointments for him. At first, it felt good. She felt needed. She thought, without me, how could he manage? But after a few months, something strange started to happen. She began to feel drained, and he became more and more indifferent. He started forgetting important dates, taking her care for granted, and not showing the same effort in return. Marie began to ask herself, am I his mother? When love grows, we naturally want to take care of the other person. But here's the truth, love does not mean being someone's caretaker. It's about partnership, not dependency. Helping him with his weaknesses is important, but giving him the space to stand on his own, that's also love. True love is about sharing the responsibilities, the worries, and the joys. It's about growing together, not about one person taking on all the weight. When a man knows he doesn't have to take responsibility because you're doing everything for him, he will begin to take you for granted. And that's when the relationship starts to weaken. Ask yourself, are you playing the role of his mother? True love is about balance. It's about helping each other but not overstepping. It's about allowing him to make mistakes, to stand on his own, and to grow. When you allow him the space to do so, your relationship transforms into something deeper, something more meaningful. And he will respect you more, not for doing everything, but for creating a space where both of you can grow together. So if you're always the one taking on the responsibility, ask yourself, could he live without your constant help? Would he still respect you if you stopped doing everything for him? If you can answer with a clear yes, your relationship is healthy. But if not, it's time to reconsider the role you've been playing and start setting boundaries. Have you ever asked yourself, if I really love him, is it wrong to give him my body? When we fall in love, it's natural to feel drawn to each other, to want to get closer, to want to be in each other's space. The warmth of his hand, the gentleness of his voice, it all awakens a deep desire for more closeness. But be careful, getting too close too quickly can be dangerous, especially when we start thinking, time is running out. Will I ever get another chance like this? This thought can push us to give our bodies before we've really gotten to know each other. But is that really proof of love? The body can be an expression of love, yes. But it is not love itself. What truly matters is the mutual respect, trust, and understanding that grows over time. Let me tell you Claire's story. Claire, a woman in her mid-60s, met a charming man in a cultural center. He listened to her, he paid attention, and one day he gently held her hand. He wanted to get closer. At first, Claire wondered, does he really love me or is he just lonely? So Claire did something powerful. She decided to wait. She kept her distance, not out of fear, but out of respect for herself and for him. And over time, that man disappeared. But Claire realized something important. The one who truly loves you waits for your heart, not just your body. So here's the question. Does he wait for your heart or is he just waiting for your body? Observe his actions carefully. If he's offended or withdraws when you take your time, his interest was likely physical. But if he respects your pace, then you're looking at the beginning of something real, something deep. True love knows how to wait. It doesn't rush or pressure. It lets both hearts open naturally without force. A love built on patience doesn't fade away quickly. So before you give him your body, ask yourself, does he also hold your heart? Does he respect what's important to you? If the answer is yes, then you're looking at a love that has the potential to last. If not, take a step back, because love born of respect and patience is always worth the wait. We all know the feeling. I'll let this slide just this once, you tell yourself. He didn't mean it, so I'll forgive him. The first time it seems small. The second time it feels like an oversight, but by the third time something changes. Why do we allow mistakes to become habits in our relationships? Take Sophie, for example. Sophie was nearing retirement when she met a man who seemed perfect at first. He was charming, attentive, at least at first. But as time went on, Sophie started noticing the little things. He was late, ignored her when she spoke, and didn't listen when she shared her thoughts. At first, Sophie told herself, it's just him being him, I can let it go, it's not a big deal. But as his behavior continued, it wore her down. And the worst part, Sophie remained silent. She didn't say anything. She didn't set any boundaries. She was afraid of losing him. But by not speaking up, she lost something far more important, her sense of self-respect. You see, relationships need clear boundaries. Without them, the other person stops seeing you as valuable. They start to take you for granted, and that's when things start to go downhill. People respect those who set standards. A person who has boundaries and knows when to speak up is someone who is valued, not because they are demanding, but because they are consistent and know their worth. True love doesn't come from endless patience and silent suffering. It grows from respect and mutual understanding. And that means saying, this behavior hurts me, or I'm not okay with this. If you keep letting things slide, he'll start thinking, no matter what I do, she'll forgive me, she'll never leave. But this isn't love, it's complacency. So ask yourself, what happens when mistakes are allowed to become habits? What happens to the respect in the relationship? If you don't speak up, you're not protecting your relationship. You're allowing it to become one-sided. True love isn't about endlessly tolerating mistakes. It's about setting boundaries and standing firm in what you will and won't accept. And yes, it takes courage. But this is how you protect your heart, your dignity, and your relationship. It's about saying no to things that hurt and yes to the respect you deserve. It's exciting, isn't it? The rush of new love, the heart-pounding messages, the deep conversations, the thrill of someone new in your life. It feels like destiny. The connection is instant, and before you know it, you're talking about moving in together or making long-term plans. But here's the truth. Love that moves too fast often burns out just as quickly. The passion is intense, but it's fleeting. It's the kind of love that feels like a blazing fire, only to turn into ashes when things get tough. Let me share a story. An older woman met a man in a cafeteria. Their connection was immediate, intense, and electric. The conversations flowed, the chemistry was undeniable, and within a few weeks they were talking about living together. But soon the first conflicts appeared. Their expectations of each other began to clash, and just like that, the relationship started to crack. She later confided in me, if only I had taken more time to get to know him better. In the excitement of new love, it's easy to rush. But true, lasting love doesn't happen overnight. It isn't about the whirlwind moments or the constant excitement. It's about building something deep and meaningful slowly over time. So ask yourself, do I really know this person? Do I know their values, their habits, their true character? It's easy to be swept up in the excitement, to rush into something that feels perfect in the moment. But that's not where the strength of a relationship lies. True love takes time. It grows slowly, rooted in trust, understanding, and mutual respect. In the beginning, love should feel like a spark. But over time, it needs to settle into something deeper, a warm, steady flame that doesn't burn out as quickly. So take your time, don't rush. Because love that grows slowly, one step at a time, is the kind of love that lasts. When we love someone, it's easy to get lost in them. We start adjusting our lives to fit theirs, changing little things here and there, our habits, our choices, even our values. We begin to shape ourselves around their world, and sometimes we forget who we were before we met them. But true love isn't about losing yourself. It's about walking side by side, staying true to who you are, and still growing together. If you find yourself constantly changing to please your partner, there's a warning sign. When you lose your individuality, when you start becoming a shadow of yourself just to be loved, the relationship begins to lose its balance. Let me tell you about Elodie. Elodie loved to read. She cherished her quiet moments and needed time alone to recharge. But when she met a man, everything changed. He wanted to spend every moment together, and out of fear of disappointing him, Elodie started sacrificing her quiet time, her hobbies, and her personal space. At first, she thought it was just part of love. But over time, she felt suffocated, like she wasn't herself anymore. She asked herself, am I still the woman I used to be, or have I become someone else just to make him happy? True love doesn't mean self-denial. It means being loved for who you are, not for who you've become in someone else's image. Ask yourself, am I losing myself in this relationship? Or are we really walking side by side as equals with our individuality intact? Love should not require you to give up your passions, your personality, or your needs. It should encourage you to be the best version of yourself, with the freedom to express your thoughts, your desires, and your dreams. If you feel like you've lost yourself, it's time to step back and reconnect with who you really are. True love will never ask you to sacrifice your soul, it will only ask you to share it. For so many years, we've lived for others. For our families, our children, our partners, we've shaped our lives around their needs, their expectations. But at some point, it's crucial to ask yourself, is it time to start living for myself? You don't have to change who you are just to please someone else. You don't have to give up your individuality, your desires, your goals to fit into someone else's world. Love should not come at the expense of your own happiness or self-worth. Imagine this: you no longer suppress your personality or conform to someone else's preferences. You wear the clothes you love, express the opinions you hold, and live life on your terms. The moment you start living authentically, you stop shrinking, and in turn, you begin to shine. True love, the kind that lasts, is built on mutual respect, not the constant effort to please the other. When you are loved for exactly who you are without changing anything, that's when you know the relationship is genuine. But this starts with you. You must first love yourself enough to refuse to be reshaped by others. Your uniqueness is your strength, don't hide it. Ask yourself, am I living for myself or just for others? Do I feel respected and accepted for who I truly am? If you're constantly adjusting who you are to fit someone else's idea of love, it's time to stop. Start living for yourself, respecting your own boundaries and recognizing your own worth. Only then can you build a relationship that truly nourishes both of you, where love is shared freely and openly, without fear of losing your identity.